So I don't want you to give away the secret sauce. How do you go about planning your videos? If you were talking to a friend right now and they're like, I need to plan a video or plan a set of videos for the month, how would you suggest they go about planning the videos?
When it comes to like really planning and from a business standpoint, there is a structure we have. Now there's, I would say basically 3 forms of content that I find myself regularly making. First one, like my content is documentary style. There's 2 parts to that. There's part 1 where like in my personal like accounts, I just do very moody moments in adventure, essentially taking you with me. I don't script any of that. I just let the cinematography do the work and then find the song. So I start with music and I'm like, okay, I love this song. I want to make essentially a music video, if you will, but not really. I need that song would pair well in a rainy scene in the mountains. Okay. Like I can just feel it. And so that's how my content works for documentary style clients where we do a lot of storytelling. We just identify a persona. And for this one client that I love using as an analogy all the time, because they're like just one of the most rewarding projects, it's called List the Nickel Feeds. And we just interview 100-year-old cowboys and capture these stories before they're gone and just let them talk. And it's just a documentary hangout with an old timer. That's all it is. And we don't structure a lot of the content other than we're going to ask them a few questions about the depression, and we take notes from interview to interview and get cross-reference. So it's like just being organized. If this guy over here said this, what was your experience with that back in 1932? And they're like, oh, the government was doing, and they can tell a story that lines up and it's cool. So we're just organized, but we just do interviews. And then the third one, which you're really asking about, is basically take 2 or 3 personas, these avatars that you're speaking to. And so I'll give you an analogy with our sports training. We just did this the other day. We filmed a bunch of shorts. We speak to parents, coaches, and athletes. I know those 3 people. Yeah. And then you get those avatars. And then if I'm doing a spreadsheet, and in the next column, I'm going to write out topics. And for the sports training, it can be like, let's say warming up, just stretching, right? How do I warm up? Let's talk about a jog warm up. We're going to jog. Okay. I'm going to make a jogging warm up video. I'm going to talk to a parent, a coach, and an athlete. So I'm going to make that same video 3 different times, talking to 3 different people. Okay. And so now I have to have my hook. Now the hook is, what is that opening line? And the way that we would structure the actual script of the video, I want to get my avatar, like the audience, the parent, coach, or athlete. And then I want to nail down the specific niche. So if I'm making a video, I'm like, are you a coach that's training an athlete in speed training? I want to hit those things, because if I was not specific enough and I said, are your kids not paying attention? Am I talking about classroom? Am I talking about feeding breakfast? Am I talking about what's the topic? So you got to get specific. So it's, are your athletes not warming up before your workouts? Okay, now I know exactly who I'm talking to and who I'm not. So algorithms can figure that out really quickly. So I'm going to engage these people. These other people are going to keep scrolling, which is fine. They're not my customer. You get that hook, and then you structure the meat of the video, essentially. So we want to have what we call a cue. And so we have all our we all have terminology in our expertise and areas that we like to use. A phrase in sports training could be low is slow. If you're running slow, you're low, you're slow. We want to run tall. So we could be like, they always low is slow. What do I mean by that? I want to talk about the spine. And so you can have a cue or a reference point. Then you explain what it means, and then you give them practical application. So we want to run tall. Now, how do we do that? There's 5 drills. When are we going to do these drills? We're going to do about twice a week. So now I'm giving you a lot of value. I'm explaining what I mean. I'm showing you my expertise. And that's something that can live in a short form video where I can explain that really quickly, but then you're getting a complete video. So this goes beyond clipping up a podcast, beyond clipping up a documentary, because sometimes those clips can be great, but they don't always finish. Like you don't have that resolution you want in a complete standalone video. So we structure it where it's, you get your avatar, you get your topics, and you get your hooks with the meat of the content. And then you can scale that content, those ideas and that spreadsheet really far, because when you start writing that same video script to 3 different avatars, and then you come up with different ideas, I could make you, if I'm talking about warming up in speed training and sports, I could make 100 videos about just warming up based on those ideas. What do I do on a cold day? What kind of shoes do I wear? Do I go inside or do I go outside? Should I do foam rolling? Should I do active stretch or static stretch when I warm up? And this is just an analogy for sports, but you can do that in podcasting. You can do that in, if I'm giving medical advice, like the mundane stuff is not mundane to a lot of people. And so we basically will just go through there and spitball a bunch of ideas and make sure the hooks are hitting that, making sure that it's something that the right person is going to stop scrolling on, and then structure it in a way that we explain what we mean.
Sounds good.